Hello, I have 7 minutes on my camera, so definitely need to edit, but obviously it's the weekend now, or it's Shabbat, so I will not have time to edit until I don't know when, but we've got to work through some stuff. Hopefully Sunday morning, if I'm working from home, maybe I can do some stuff on the side. Last night was so much fun. I went out with some friends. It was one of my friends' birthday, and first of all, a lot of them I hadn't seen in longer than I would have liked. But second of all, it's been so long since all of us were together. And it was just so wonderful to be back with that group of friends. The cupcakes were a success. There's a couple left, but definitely not loads. People said they enjoyed them. I liked them. There were enough chocolate chips. It wasn't a problem. I'm gonna have one now. I shouldn't really have one before I'm gonna have a 3-course meal, but I'm hungry. I went for a run. Work today. Maybe I shouldn't talk about work, but I went in to a number of messages where I was just like, this is not what I want to be dealing with. And it was like one thing after another. And I don't think I've been in such a bad mood since I started this job, but I was just very tense. And luckily it passed within about an hour and a half. I sort of took some deep breaths, worked through some of the things, sort of set my foot down on others, and chatted to one of my colleagues, and that definitely helped. And then the rest of the day was super chill, but I definitely sort of started off the day not in a great mood. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy this and then go to Shabbat, or supper. I didn't buy flowers today because I had such a quick turnaround from getting home, running, and then changing and going again. So I do feel really guilty, especially because I'm not even going to my grandma's. But I do know this person very well. She always tells me not to bring anything, so I don't feel as guilty as maybe I should, but I do still feel guilty. Why did I take a bite before I said bye? Bye. Hello. I have spent today doing so much editing because I had no space on my camera, no space on my computer, and I just couldn't do anything, which is why I haven't vlogged anything of today, even though I've had quite a productive day. But I have now edited everything until today, basically. And even my running stuff, the only thing I've got is from Friday, so I'm more or less caught up as much as I can be, which feels great. I think the problem with my computer is that I've got a couple of videos sort of on the go and they are long, and I haven't started editing anything because I kind of want to wait until I have everything. But maybe either I need to start editing bits and just having them ready, or move them off my computer onto a hard drive or a USB or something until the time that I've got all the clips I need. But anyway, for now we have dealt with it all, which is amazing. I got to work from home today, which was unexpected but great. I was very grateful. And then I had a couple of hours before going to my other job, which was incredibly boring, as it often is on a Sunday evening, but it was fine. We made it. They had chai lattes again, which they've not had for a while, so I enjoyed that, and we made it. We survived. Although my journey home was frustrating. One thing I really wanted to film, obviously there's been bits and bobs that I've done throughout the day, but the main thing I really wanted to film was for supper, I decided to make bruschetta. We have some salad tomatoes. I tend to buy the cherry ones, but Wayne bought some salad ones, and we only used one and it was a pack of 6, so we still had quite a few left. I've got some challah that my grandma gave me from Shabbat. I know we have balsamic vinegar, I know we have salt, I know we have garlic. I don't have basil, but that's the only thing I was missing, and I thought this will make a good meal. Also because we don't have loads in the fridge, freezer, or cupboards at the moment, and I was gonna make pasta. Anyway, I've been living off eggs, more or less, and leftovers, so I wasn't sure what I was going to do tonight. As I've just realised, I was going to make pasta, which I was then hoping to use for lunches throughout the week. I do have my lunch for tomorrow sorted already, so maybe tomorrow night I am hoping to go for a long run, but if I have time after, maybe I'll pop on some pasta. Although I do also have challah, so I could make sandwiches. I do also have whole wheat bread, but I don't know, I've got a bit sick of it, I think, at the moment. I just find it's a bit dry. Maybe the problem is what I'm putting on it, but I don't know, I've been uninspired every time I have it. I'm quite tired. It's 10:30 now, just after, and I keep forgetting that tomorrow, because it's a bank holiday, I'm working at my other job, not my regular job, which is annoying because it's an earlier start, but great because it means that for my run I'll be home earlier. That being said, we're back in another heat wave, and I am so fed up. I really thought we were done with it, at least for August. I thought maybe a surprise one in September, but another one? And tomorrow is meant to be the hottest day of the heat wave. It is less hot than the last few heat waves, which I'm grateful for, but yeah, I'm not best pleased. Anyway, I'm tired. I've got a couple of other things I still want to do tonight. Not many, they won't take long, but just like things I want to get done. So I'm gonna do those and then I'm gonna go to bed. I will most likely see you tomorrow. Yay! Made bruschetta again. Watching the tennis. Life is good. They said until the finale. See me perfectly, but that's because I am going to put away some things because we have a lot going on. Actually, not as much as usual, but certainly more than I would like there to be. So I'm gonna put things away while I chat to you. It's almost 8 o'clock. I've just got home. I met up with someone today after work, which was interesting. It was fine. It was nice. That's it. And as a treat, I bought myself crispy nuggets, like corn nuggets, and I'm so excited. I've not had them in a very long time, probably about a year or maybe 8 months. I feel like it was around New Year's, and I'm very excited. And with it, I'm gonna have challah and a fried egg because that's the kind of night we're gonna have. Last night, we went to see 101 Dalmatians, and I want to chat to you about it because my goodness, I've got things to say. I don't know where to begin. I did enjoy it. It was cute. It was sweet. It was very much a kids show. Very much a kids show. Which I don't have a problem with, but I guess a lot of kids shows are good at also being interesting or fun for adults. This was fun, but Wayne and I just found ourselves laughing at moments where we definitely shouldn't have been laughing, but it was just so silly. Silly is the word I would use for it. And again, certainly not bad, just, I don't know, just silly. I'm really glad we went. Well, I'm glad we went. Ow, I just hit myself. I'm glad we saw it. Some of the songs are gonna remain stuck in my head for a while. I am glad we saw it, but yeah, it was just silly. It was very silly. Tonight, I mean, it's already later than usual. By the time I've like finished cooking, it'll be probably about 8:30, if not later. But the plan is more or less to do nothing. I'm going to try and watch the tennis if I can, but that I don't really have anything else I need to do tonight, which is good because I've got a busy week. I may have mentioned this on here, although maybe not, but Monday night, well, I attempted to run, but it was cut short. But still, I still ended up going out, I think, for an hour. Tuesday night, I went to see 101 Dalmatians. Tonight, I met up with this person. Tomorrow night, I'm working my second job. And then Friday night's already Shabbat. So, like, what's happening with the week? Work today was really fun. All of us were in a bit of a wacky state. And so we were all just being a bit silly. And there was just a nice feel to it. Sometimes everyone's tired and it's just like a really low energy kind of day, but today felt like everyone was probably a little bit tired, but to the point of overtired where everyone's just like lost their minds. It was really fun, and it was a good balance of being busy and having stuff to do and also not being like stressed. Anyway, I'm going to cook. I'm not doing very much, literally just frying an egg. I'm gonna wash up. I'm also maybe gonna make a smoothie tonight. I wanted to buy, this is so silly, I really want to buy frozen mango. And first of all, frozen fruit is more expensive than it should be. In fact, having said that out loud, I'm wondering if it's cheaper to just buy mango and cut it up myself, although I don't like cutting mango. But anyway, I didn't love how expensive it was. Also, the frozen mango, there was some, but it was on the top shelf, and so I could not reach, so I gave up on that. But also, there was a 3 for 2 offer where, you know, you can buy 3 bags for the price of 2. But our freezer is so full. I don't understand how it's still so full. There's one thing in there that I know is taking up some space, which at some point I need to eat, but I had it so much, like 2 weeks ago, that I've got a bit sort of fed up with it. There's a bag of Brussels sprouts that I use as an ice pack, fair enough. There's some bread. But I feel like usually 3 items wouldn't be enough to make it not have any more space, and yet we don't have any more space. We don't even have ice cream or anything. I don't understand. But it's fine. I have some fruit salad to use up that I had from Shabbat, so maybe I'll use that. And then I've got some frozen cubes from the last time I made a smoothie, and I have got still some yogurt or milk and chia seeds and whatever, so we will manage. I've also got some apples. Anyway, I'm just chatting to you because I've missed chatting to you. I feel like I haven't chatted properly to you in a while. So I'm gonna crack on with things, and I probably won't see you later today, but I'll see you at some point. Yay! I have no time to speak to you right now, and Shabbat's about to start, so I won't have time until like tomorrow night at the earliest. But suffice it to say, I've had a good day, I think. Yeah, I think it was a good day. A good week. Busy though, really busy. And I'm now going for Shabbat. I have so many things to share with you, but I just don't have time. So I will do that at a later date. I just wanted to pop in and say hello because I feel like it's been a while, and even when if it's not been a while, I feel like it's all been little short bursts. So hi, bye, I'll see you soon. Hello. Shabbat has just gone out about 10 minutes ago, and Wayne found a recipe on Instagram today that he wants to try. It's like a garlic butter spaghetti kind of thing. So we're gonna try and make it. He's just gone to the shops, and I'm gonna start chopping some onions and garlic and also boiling the water so that we're ready to go, guns blazing, because it is quite late. Not that I mind, had a big lunch, and then we also snacked on some M&Ms, so I'm definitely not too hungry. It's very warm, which is stupid because it should be cooling down, but it's not. Today's been a pretty chill day. Went to shul, then went out for lunch, which was long, but it was nice. It was really lovely. Last night, my grandma made some meringues, and apparently doesn't really like meringues, so she let me take some home, which I'm thrilled about because I love meringues. That's probably one of my favorite desserts, or at least like part of a dessert. Is that rain or thunder or something? Maybe fireworks. Anyway, I'm gonna get cracking, and I don't know how much I'm gonna vlog because we're gonna be small space, you know what I mean? So just gonna maybe show the end result or like a couple of steps in between, but definitely not too much. Yay! Good morning. I really feel it's been so long since I've vlogged, it's been so long since I've edited, I've not had time, which is not a bad thing. I sort of built up enough in advance, so I'm not so worried, but I'm just noticing there's not been as much YouTube stuff happening on my end. Yesterday I worked and then went on a long run, and by the time I'd sort of settled from that, Wayne was home, so there wasn't really much point in sharing anything. Well, there just wasn't really much to share. The run is shared in a running video, and aside from that, like, I just ate leftovers, we had some ice cream, we watched The Office, like, that's it. Today, if the weather stays good, we're hoping to go see Brigadoon at Regent's Park. I was able to get £6 tickets. I'm not really that interested. Well, Brigadoon is not a musical I know much about. I know one song and that's it. I know that it's a legit show and, you know, older, more of its generation, if you will. I do like seeing things at Regent's Park. Like, it is a very nice venue and it feels very immersive. But Wayne was curious, and as I said, I was able to get these £6 tickets, so I figured, why not? Let's go for it. And I'm working in town anyway today, so I will be near enough. I've just realised I didn't talk to you at all about Legoland. I did really enjoy Legoland and we did have a really fun day. Like we both really enjoyed it. I loved the Miniland. That was probably the highlight for me. We didn't have the best of luck with the rides. Now, admittedly, we went on a Sunday. It was also the last Sunday of the school holiday. So yes, the lines would have potentially been longer than if you go sort of weekday or whatever. But the first ride that we wanted to go on, I think when we walked past it was closed. This was the Miniature Speedway, I think it's called. And apparently it's the most popular one, but we didn't know that. And it was closed, so that's when we went to Miniland. And then we overheard someone else about sort of 45 minutes later saying that they had reopened it. So we went and joined the queue, which was already quite long. And we stood in the queue for probably about 20 minutes or so. And then they made an announcement to say, we've had an issue, we've got some maintenance coming in. We don't know how long it will take. We recommend people at the back of the queue leave. And so loads of people left and we stayed and we were like, oh great, we're moving up. And then we waited another sort of 10 minutes or so and it was back up and running and we were like, amazing. And they got one set of people on and then it stopped again. And so at that point we were like, right, do we wait? And I think we did wait again. And then I think maybe another 15 minutes later, maybe 10, they made another announcement to say, sorry, we need to do maintenance and it's going to take the rest of the day. So we're going to close the ride for the rest of the day, which was a shame because by this point we'd probably wasted about an hour in the queue. But at least they said, you know, this is it. We're not going to keep trying. So we went on and did different things. I can't remember exactly how we filled our time. Like I can't figure that out, but we did. We definitely stood in line for about half an hour at the Jolly Rocker, which that ride is fantastic. It's a pirate ship, one of those swingy ones, and I always love pirate ships. I just love that sensation of swinging. It's so much fun. And this one went high. Like this was a really good pirate ship. If you're scared of heights, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you like pirate ship type rides, absolutely, I recommend this one. Then we waited about 5-10 minutes for the spinning spider. Did that. That was fun. Then we waited about 45 minutes for the Ninjago ride because I'm pretty sure it said it was like a 4D ride. So that seemed fun. It had a long wait time, which to me implied this is a good ride. But it was actually quite underwhelming. It was hardly a ride. You were just like sat in a carriage that sort of moved along. And basically it was a game where you had to like shoot stuff with your hands. But because of the way it was designed, first of all, it didn't really feel like it was working. Maybe we didn't get it, but it didn't work it didn't feel like it was working. But second of all, my arms got really sore. Maybe I've got really weak arms, but I don't know. It was like, it wasn't fun. I was just doing an arm exercise. I did still enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I just said it wasn't fun, but I did enjoy it. But it was not worth a 45-minute wait for me. Anyway, and then we saw on the app that the Speedway was open again. And by this point, I think it was around 4:30 maybe. And so the park was closing at 5, supposedly. I'll get back to that. And there was an 80-minute wait on the Speedway ride. But we figured if we can get in line, then at least we can do it. You know, even once you're in line, usually they don't turn you away anymore. So we went in line and we did wait. I think it wasn't quite 80 minutes. I think it was about an hour, maybe just under. But the crazy thing is they kept letting people on. It was around 5, I can't remember. I think it was around 5 and they still had people in joining the queue and they were making announcements. If you're at the back of the queue, it's going to be a 120-minute wait. And we were like, why are you letting people in the queue at this point? But anyway, the ride was fun. It was really fun. It was the only like ride that we went on, like roller coaster, but it was so quick. It was so quick. If I'd known how quick it was, I probably wouldn't have waited an hour, but it was really fun. The weather on Sunday was all over the place. It was sunny, rainy. I didn't really bring a coat or any layers except like a jumper. So maybe that wasn't the wisest, but it worked fine. I wasn't that cold. And we did have a really good day. We really enjoyed it. It was nice. Also, we took the train to Slough and then from there the bus. And so you got to pass like Windsor Castle and everything. And it was just such a sweet area. So I just enjoyed the bus journey, to be honest. So yeah, Sunday was a success. I do now need to go to work, but I will let you know about Brigadoon hopefully tomorrow. Yay! Hello. It's a proper day off. I mean, I am working again for a couple of hours later on, but I could sleep in. Not that I did. I woke up at like 7:30, which is probably 15-20 minutes after I usually wake up. But I spent the first hour or so just in bed on my phone. The next hour I've just been spending partly watching stuff on YouTube and having breakfast, but also doing some like house stuff. We had a handful of dishes, not as many as usual, but still enough that it was bothering me, so I washed those up, and our kitchen surface was still pretty gross from when we made the pasta meal a couple of nights ago. Neither of us had really had time to properly, wipe and clean. We clean as we go, but there was just some bits that we hadn't got to. And so I've just cleaned everything, and it's so nice. Oh, and it's just so lovely to have a morning to myself. Brigadoon last night was really good. I went in knowing practically nothing. I don't know what I said yesterday, I can't remember, or the night before. But basically all I knew about Brigadoon going in, A, is that it's a legit show, so like classic. And second of all, B, maybe. When I was at drama school, we once sung Brigadoon, Brigadoon, and like that's all I could remember. I couldn't even remember beyond those two lyrics. And I had heard, family of mine had gone, I think last week, and they said that the plot was a bit of a nothing, but the singing and dancing was really good. And I completely agree. The plot actually was interesting. It was not what I was expecting. Probably not the best book ever, but equally very interesting and very different to a lot of other legit shows. But the dancing especially, I mean, the singing was also very good, but the dancing really stood out to me. And I think it's because you don't see a lot of like legit dancing in shows nowadays. I think my only other experience of it really was when I went to see Hello Dolly, which by the way was exactly a year from yesterday as well. It was the 2nd of September, according to my phone at least. Maybe it wasn't, I don't know. And I love that style, and it's so beautiful, and their costumes are gorgeous, and so when they're moving it just looks so beautiful. So yeah, I had a really good evening. It also wasn't as cold as I was worried it would be. So I did have layers with me, and it was the first time I've worn my coat this year, but it wasn't freezing. So that was good. And I do just like seeing stuff in Regent's Park because of sort of the atmosphere, and Brigadoon especially really works well in that sort of environment. My favourite part was that at one point, one of the actors did this move with their hand, like to kind of, I don't know, move across. And as they did that, a bird flew along and like across the stage. And it was so perfectly timed that at first I thought maybe it was like a puppet on a string or something. But no, it was just a real bird that managed to time itself very well. So yeah, that was good. Now, today, I have about 5 hours before I need to go to work. And I have a long list of things I want to do, but every item of that list probably will take me maximum 5 to 10 minutes. But it's just a bunch of stuff that I've not done for a while because I've just not had any time off. I mean, obviously I was off on Sunday, but because we were doing stuff, I didn't get a chance to do any personal home stuff. So I am looking forward to just working my way through this list. I think I'm gonna stop vlogging for now. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to come as the day carries on. I will see you later. My computer is so annoying. Anyway, one of the things I forgot to mention in my vlog earlier was that I am loving the weather. It got to like August 31st, I would say, maybe September 1st. No, already on the 31st, and it's just been raining, slightly sunny, but also raining and windy and grey. I love it so much. I knew I was ready mentally for the fall weather. I did not know just how ready I was now that it's here. I don't know why I just said fall. I never say that. I've been Americanized. Anyway, I'm very happy about the rain and the grey and the wind. I love it. I'm doing pretty well on my list. I've got a couple of things left and 2 of them are quite long, but I'm going to do them in a moment, and they are 2 different videos I want to film. I have just over an hour before I need to go to work, so I'm hoping I can smash these out and do my bib, which is sort of number 3. And then I think that's everything except cooking, which I'm not going to do anyway until I get back. Oh, and draw my September title page in here. That's okay. And the laundry, which is currently in the dryer, so we're mostly there. All right, I'm gonna crack on with filming, and if I can smash these 2 things out, then I've basically done the most important things of the day, which is fantastic. And I also did some extra bits that I hadn't put on my list, such as sort through like YouTube stuff and whatever else. So I am feeling good. I'm very happy. Oh, also, I have been asked to stay late at work, so I probably won't be home until about 7:30, which is significantly later than usual, and also much closer to the time that Wayne will be home. So I'm thinking for supper I'll probably do something much more simple than I'd initially intended. I'm thinking something I can just throw in the oven, and that's it. But we'll see. Alright, bye! Hello. It is just past 8:30 and we've basically only just got home. Work went on a lot longer than it should have, but I didn't really mind because it was quite quiet and I was just watching the tennis, so I was pretty chill. But the thing that's a shame is I'd really hoped to get food ready by the time Wayne got home, and obviously I couldn't do that. But we've just put basically everything in the oven. We're just gonna have a very easy, lazy meal: burger, chips, garlic bread, simple, lovely. But it will take, you know, still half an hour or so to all be ready. I'm gonna see if the tennis is still on. I think it will be, so I'm gonna try and watch it. And I'm also going to boil some pasta so that I can have that for lunch tomorrow and potentially days after. I don't have much else to share, obviously, because why am I talking to you about boiling pasta and putting things in the oven? And I think Wayne and I are just gonna spend the evening chilling, maybe watching The Office. Obviously, I'll try and watch the tennis for as much as I can. I don't think I'll be awake for the Sinner match, which is a shame. Sinner Musetti, both of players I really like, but it's okay. I am going to get ready for bed and I will probably not see you again. Maybe tomorrow night I will, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Yay!